Captain Crimson, Space Crusader.
Captain Crimson's really excellent, you know. My dad does the drawings, and he writes the stories. I'm Thomas Rickard, and my dad's been writing Captain Crimson ever since I can remember. He's always been my favourite comic character, because it feels like we've grown up together.
Jeff, the toast's burning!
Without a thought for his own safety, Captain Crimson leapt into action. Stand back, short stuff, this could turn nasty. Commandeering an intergalactic flying saucer. Boop, 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 boop. The captain swooped in close to the scene, reversed the magnetic flow with his utility piffer, poof, poof, and 1, 2,
3.
The planet was saved.
Thank you, Captain.
No need for thanks, ma'am.
It's all in a day's work. Today's the last day of the summer holidays. I'm almost looking forward to going back to school, just to get a bit of peace and quiet. Don't get me wrong, I've had an utterly brilliant time, but it's also been the most incredibly terrifying 6 weeks of my life. The trouble started on the first Thursday of the summer holidays. Thursdays are deadline days, when my dad delivers the new Captain Crimson story. But something had been bothering him lately, and he couldn't seem to get on with it. The week before, Dad had been so late with the story that the editor rang and screamed down the phone at him. It was totally awful. Wiz said it must be a phase he was going through. That's Wiz. She's my gran. She's looked after me and my dad ever since Mum died, when I was still a baby. Everyone calls her Wiz because she's always whizzing about all over the place. Thursday is her baking day, when she bakes for the icing on the cake tea rooms where she sometimes works. Now, on the day I was telling you about, Amy came round after lunch. She's my best mate. She can blow the biggest bubblegum bubbles you've ever seen. They're ace finata with knobs on. Where was I? Oh yes, the day it all began, Amy and I were off to the park on our bikes, but somehow we never quite made it. How's it going, Dad?
Oh, great. Yeah, it's going really. Yep. There's no doubt about it. My creative boosters are on overload, and I'm really.
I'll get you a cup of tea.
Thanks. You're a fine, upstanding fellow, Thomas.
If you're making tea for your father, I've just poured one.
Oh, thanks. How is he? Stuck.
Oh, not again.
Oh, maybe this'll give him some inspiration.
Good idea.
Still, he can't be as bad as last week.
He's worse.
Wiz said the eclair might bring me some inspiration.
Ah, food for thought, eh? I think it might take more than just the one.
What's happening this week? Hey, Crinkleons! I love it when the captain gets tangled with the Crinkleons. Captain Crimson and the crew of the starship Galileo were patrolling through space when First Officer Updike picked up a distress signal.
Captain, there's a mayday call from Planet Centurion 3.
It's a trap, right?
Naturally. The Crinkleons will never rest until the captain has been crinkled into utter destruction.
And what's going to happen?
Oh, well. Now you're asking. Don't answer that.
Why not?
Because it might be.
Not the editor.
Jeff, are you there? Pick up the phone, man, because I want to know what Crimson's up to this week. And I want to know now.
I'll be in the kitchen if you need me. He's sitting on the floor with a waste paper basket over his head.
Ah. The smell from the baker's oven was driving Captain Crimson crazy. His nostrils twitched. His stomach feels as empty as a black hole. If only he could eat just one more chocolate eclair.
But he was foiled by the only villain with the power to stop him.
His mother! Have the Crinklians got the captain yet?
Nearly. They've cornered him and his landing party, and they're facing a fate worse than death.
And then?
And then?
And then... I don't know. Huh. Listen, gang, I think I need a break. I'm gonna go out.
Oh.
Thanks, Ma.
Where are you going, Dad?
Oh, I don't know. I might go to the library.
Again? What if the editor rings?
Don't worry, short stuff. I'll be back. There's plenty of time to finish a strip.
But Dad, it's already 2:30.
Don't pretend you're not there, Ricard. I can hear you sweating. I will not have a repeat performance of last week's late delivery. So, I'm sending a motorbike messenger to collect the story. He'll be there by 4, and it had better be ready. Or else.
Or else what?
There's nothing quite so nasty as a great big fat or else. We can only hope that your dad comes home in the next hour and a half.
He did say he'd be back in time.
Yeah, well, last week he was gone for the whole afternoon. But at least he finished the story first.
Let's go and get him then.
How can we? We don't know for sure where he's gone. Could take hours to find him.
Even if we did, he still might not be able to think of an ending.
Which brings us back to or else. Or else we could do it. What? Why not? You could easily draw the rest of it.
She's right. You've been doing pictures of the captain since you were old enough to hold a pencil.
Yeah, well, it's not just drawings, is it? He hasn't finished the story yet.
So? You're always making up stories about Captain Crimson. Let's read as far as your dad got, and then try to imagine what the captain would do next.
Only if I can be Commander Crinklian. I've always longed to be a baddie.
Sounds good to me. What do you think, Tom?
We've got nothing to lose.
Except Dad's job.
Yeah, so it sounds like he's in danger of losing that anyway.
True.
Come on, we haven't got much time.
I suppose we ought to start here.
Well, we know they've been captured by Crinklians.
What will Captain Crimson do next?
Well, he always tries to save his crew.
Let's do that then.
The captain had a bold and daring plan his crew could escape if he distracted the Crinklians.
Hang on. That's masses. Can't we break it up a bit?
We could split it into sentences.
Okay. The captain...
Capital T for the, because it's the start of a sentence.
Right. The captain had a bold and daring plan his...
You could stop that sentence there.
Where?
After plan. The captain having a plan, well, that's a thought all on its own.
Okay.
So, the captain had a bold and daring plan. Full stop.
His crew...
Capital?
H for his. Yep. His crew could escape if he distracted the Crinklians. That's the end of that thought, so, full stop.
What happens then?
Hello, Ricard. I know you're listening. I want to make sure you got the message about the bike. It'll be halfway there by now. There isn't going to be a problem. Is there? Phone me back. Now! Or you're fired.
What should we do? Can't phone him back. He'll find out Dad isn't in.
Let's send him a fax.
He'd know it wasn't Dad's handwriting.
Not if we typed it on the computer.
Ace! What should we put?
How about... 2, busy, capital T for 2. Helping, Captain Crimson. Escape.
Once we sent him the fax, the editor left us alone. But the trouble was, by the time we'd done it, There was only an hour left to finish the story, and there was still no sign of Dad. He'd said he was only going to the library. What was keeping him so long?
She's perfection. Such a distraction. No wonder I've lost my concentration. How can I get her attention? Aha! I know how to get a reaction. Could you show me which section this book belongs in, please?
I can't leave my post, I'm afraid. That's not my function. Mr. Rutty will take you.
How are we doing for time? Oh no, there's only 15 minutes till the bike gets here, and we've still got all this to do.
Well, don't use up the time panicking then. Let's think about what the captain would do to distract the Crinklians so the landing party can escape.
Okay, it would be something really heroic.
Yes, but what? Your dad's drawn him into a complete corner.
I've got it! The captain would use his water cannon attachment on his utility piffer.
I'm sorry to be thick, but I don't get it.
Oh, I do. It's fiendish. If Captain Crimson covered Commander Crinklian with water, then all her crinkles would drop out.
Exactly. She'd start screaming blue murder because her body's going flat.
The Crinklians would rush to help her.
And the landing party could escape back to the ship.
An AC peach of a plan. How does Captain Crimson get away?
Let's worry about that in a minute. We're running out of time.
The bike will be here in about 10 minutes.
Let's see. The captain's plan was sheer
Perfection?
Oh, perfection. At his instruction, the landing party leapt into action.
How about if the captain said, "This will pour cold water onto your plans. Now go, all of you, go!"
Commander Crinklian's going to be furious.
I think she'd say, "What's that funny smell?"
Why would you say that?
Because something's burning.
Something gingery.
Gingery? Oh, no, I left the gingerbread men in the oven.
Thomas, the bike's here!
Can't be, the captain hasn't escaped yet. Oh no, what are we going to do now?
And your dad's back.
It's all right, I've got it. It's a black hole.
I can see that.
No, it's a black hole in space. That's how the captain escapes, through the black hole.
Don't panic! Don't panic! The bike has arrived to collect the Captain Crimson story, and I haven't finished it yet.
Dad!
No need to panic. No panic required. No panic required.
Dad!
Don't interrupt me, son. I'm busy panicking.
We've done it, Dad.
You've done what?
Finished your Captain Crimson story.
You have?
We have.
Ah, yo, kiddo!
The Adventures of Captain Crimson, Space Crusader. Captain Crimson and the crew of the starship Galileo were patrolling through space when First Officer Optic picked up a distress signal.
Captain, there's a mayday call from Zenthurian 3.
Signal that we're on our way.
Chief Engineer Widget slammed the Galileo's thrusters into high space overdrive. Little did Captain Crimson realize that he was heading straight into a deadly trap. His arch-enemy, Commander Crinklian's intention was to crinkle Captain Crimson and his crew into 1 trillion lifeless pieces.
The starship Galileo is approaching, your crinkliness.
Now all of hyperspace shall be mine.
Captain Crimson was suspicious. The Mayday signal had disappeared. He took a landing party and beamed down to the planet's surface. Too late, the captain realized that he'd been lured into an ambush. Only the Crinklians could have caused such total devastation.
Stand by for hostile action.
Suddenly, a cluster of Crinklians sprang out at them.
There's no escape, Crimson. Prepare to perish.
The captain had a bold and daring plan. His crew could escape if he distracted the Crinklians. There was no time to lose. He quickly set the water cannon attachment on his utility piffer to hyperspin.
Take me, but let my ship and crew go free.
Why should I? I want to see your utter destruction.
The captain's plan was sheer perfection. At his instruction, the landing party leapt into action.
This will pour cold water on your plans. Go, all of you, go!
Captain Crimson was cornered. He was facing a fate worse than death. Then, something strange caught his attention.
Bring him back alive!
You'll have to catch me first.
A black hole had suddenly appeared. Nobody had ever risked going into one before, especially without a spacesuit, but it was the captain's only hope.
Catch him!
In your dreams, Crinklebrain.
So our space hero outwitted the evil Crinklians and lived to fight another day.
Curses filed again!
Dad was knocked out with the work we'd done on Captain Crimson. So he was happy, the editor was happy, and I was happy. It seemed like everything was sorted. I thought I'd rescued Captain Crimson by helping him escape through the black hole. But after tea that day, something happened, which gave me the biggest shock anyone's ever had in 10 billion years.
Health and happiness. What planet is this?
Captain Crimson?
Naturally.
How will Thomas stop Captain Crimson coming to Jeff's attention? What is Amy's reaction to our space hero? Can you picture the devastation when the captain disobeys an instruction not to leave the house? All this and more with Captain Crimson. Our intention is to cram-pack it with action. So, watch this space.